Hello. In this video lecture, today we learn nested if-else statement, nested else-if statement, switch statement. First, we talk about nested if-else statement. In this nested if-else statement, the logic will be like this. Here, first we'll have one condition and the condition will be tested. If the condition is tested, there are two options, either true or false. For example, if it is true, again, if you go to the true block, again we have one more condition, and if the condition is tested, again there are two options, true or false. If the condition is true, a block or statement 1 is executed. If the condition is false, another block or statement 2 are executed, and then they go to the next statement. Similarly, again come back to the condition 1. If the condition is false, again there is a branching here. Condition 3 will be tested. There are two options, true or false. If it is true, statement 3 is executed. Otherwise, statement 4 is executed. Finally, all they will go to the next statement. This type of logic is known as nested if-else statement. Simply, if you observe that if it is if block, if this is else block, this if block is containing one more if and else block, and this else block is also containing one more if and else block, and this structure is known as a nested if-else statement. Now let us see an example for nested if-else statement. If in this program we see int num is equal to 1, if num is less than 10, then we have a block of statements. So if num is less than 10 is true, then this block, which is called true block or if block, that is executed. If the condition fails, it goes to the else block and this will be executed. This is a normal if else statement. But again, if you come to this if block, again there is one more condition. If number is equal to 1, again if this condition is true, it goes to if block, otherwise it goes to else block. So thus the if block is containing one more if else statement inside it, and this is known as a nested if else statement. Now in the present condition, let us see how it works. Num is 1. Is 1 is less than 10, it is true. That means we come to the if block and else block will be skipped. Now here, if is num is equal to 1, yes, condition is true. So the value is percentile n num, that will be printed. So num value is equal to 1. So the value is 1 printed. So this is the working of the nested if else statement. Now we are going to see another type of statement, that is called nested else if statement, or also sometimes known as else if ladder. In this diagram, you observe that there is a condition 1. If the condition 1 is tested, two possibilities, true or false. If condition 1 is true, a statement is executed and then go to the next statement after the if statement. If the condition 1 is false, again there will be one more condition that will be tested. If the condition is true, then statement 2 is executed. Otherwise false, we go to another condition. So it is just like a ladder, one after another. Every time we are taking a next testing condition. Finally, as it contains finite number of conditions, at one place it will be terminated. Therefore here only simply a statement is executed and we are coming to the statement. So thus this type of structure is known as else if ladder. Now let us see an example for else if ladder. Here this is a syntax for else if ladder and corresponding program is shown here. If test expression 1, if this is true, statement 1 is executed, otherwise it goes to else part. In the else part, again, there is one more test condition is tested. If it is true, statement 2 is executed. Otherwise, we go to else block again, another. And again, here also it is tested. We go for expression 3 or and so on. Finally, we come to the default statement. So again, the same logic can be implemented here. Int marks is equal to 83. Initially, it is given. Now, if marks is greater than 75, print first class. Suppose if it is failing, we go next else. If marks greater than 65, print second class. Similarly, else if marks greater than 55, third class. Else print fourth class. So thus, depending upon the first value 83, what we observe is that as 83 is greater than 75, so therefore the first condition will be satisfied, and therefore it prints first class at the output. Suppose if marks is 60, then this condition fails and it comes to else if mark. This condition will be true, then it prints the second class. In that way, the else if ladder or nested else if block works. Next, another important statement in the branching and conditional statements are switch statement. Here, this is the logical working of the switch statement. First, there will be an expression, and that expression will be evaluated. When that expression is evaluated, it gives a value, and that value gives a label. Now, there are several cases. Each case will have a label with it, already initially given label with it. And now when the expression is evaluated, if that label is checked with these labels attached with the case 1, case 2, case n and so on. Suppose the label that has obtained in the expression is matching with case 1, then some statement 1 is or a block of statements are executed, and then a statement break works and we come out of the complete switch statement. Suppose whatever the label that we have applied, when compared to it, if it is not matching, that is unmatched, then we don't go in this direction, we go to the next case 2 and it checks the label. Now if the label is matching, then this statement 2 is executed, takes break statement and come out of that one. So that every time whatever the evaluate label, that label will be tried to compare with the cases labels, and wherever there is a matching, that matching block is executed. Otherwise finally it goes like this. Finally, suppose if at all there is no match, then we go to a condition called default condition, and along with the default condition, what are the statements? Those statements are executed, and after taking the break statement, we are coming out of the switch statement. So based upon a label, as we are switching from one condition to another condition, it is called switch statement. Now let us see how it works. The switch syntax is like this. Switch is a keyword. It contains an expression. So before that, the program gives some inputs. With those inputs, this expression is evaluated and that gives a label. Now, after that, we enter into the switch block. First, we'll have a keyword called case, and it contains a label called constant 1. Now, suppose if this expression is equal to constant 1, then these statements are executed and takes the break statement and come out of the switch statement. Suppose if this expression is matching with constant 2, then this block is 2 is executed and takes break and come out, and so on. If there is no match, we comes to default, and finally after executing the default block, we comes out of the statement. Now let us go to an example, we see it. In this example, printf enter a number. So every time we try how to enter a number. But with the help of the scanf statement, we input the number. Then a switch statement comes and switch num. So whatever the num we have given, that number is coming into the switch statement. As there is no further expression, the num will be expression. That means the num value it will be the label. Now, for example, num can be given as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. like this. Now you see the labels case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here conveniently the labels are kept as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that. Now if as input if we give number 1, then label is 1. So that label 1 is matching with the case 1 label, and therefore here the match is true, and therefore this print Sunday will be implemented. That is, Sunday is printed, and after that is taking the break statement, means completely come out of the block, and we come to this point here. Suppose num is given 2, then 2 is no match with 1, so this part will be skipped, and 2 is compared with 2 as it is true, and now Monday will be printed, and taking the break we come out. Like this, taking all the cases into consideration, whatever the number you are giving, the number becomes label, and the label will be matched with the available label, and that case will be chosen, that block will be executed, and after that taking the break statement it comes out of it. If at all there is no match with the label, then it is called default condition. In that case it prints as a wrong choice and comes out of this one. So in this way the switch statement works. Now, in the present video, we learned what is a nested if-else statement, what is a nested else-if statement or else-if ladder, and then we learned about the switch statement. Thank you.